I'm gonna try to lower my bike today. I have this lowering link. It's a little longer than the stock one, so that way it'll push the wheel a little bit further back, making the middle of the bike drop a little lower. And then I'm gonna access these two pinch bolts here, and then drop the whatever this bar on the actual shocks or whatever the forks. So I'm gonna do that to this side and this side to do the front, and then to have the middle drop, I'm gonna use that lowering link of my two motorcycle stands so I can lift both ends of the bike. And then I have this little emergency jack here so I can put some pressure up through the exhaust or the oil pan or whatever I can lift through there. And I'm trying to find a piece of wood or something like that so I can hold it up together, but I can't find that so far. So I need to move it out a little further and get somebody to hold it up for me while I put the stands on, and then find the piece of wood and remove these fairings. So I'm gonna get started. Okay, so it looks like I don't have to remove the fairings. There is a hole down here, and I found this piece of metal, and you can see it's barely touching the oil pan. It's touching the exhaust down there, and it's touching the exhaust right here, so it's gonna lift it pretty evenly throughout the whole bike, so it shouldn't put too much weight on one spot or another. But unfortunately this is the jack I have to work with, so I'm gonna do that. You can see it's this bolt here, and this bolt here, as well as that bolt, which we can probably access through down here, and then that bolt right there. So it doesn't look like I have to remove the fairings. And then once I get that thing out, I will compare the two just to show you the length difference. Alright, so I got these two bolts out from the back. They're both 17s on the opposite side of this. This is a 14, and that's, I don't know, some hex, maybe an 8mm hex, or maybe a 10, something like that. So this is still locked in there. The bolts aren't sliding out, so we're gonna have to lift the whole bike up with this until we get enough pressure released off of I heard it click, so that might be, so it basically is going to relieve the pressure from here. Then you should be able to slide the bolts out pretty easily. Okay, so there it is. I put the camera down for like 2 seconds and it already slid out. So I literally just did like 2 more turns with my hand. I didn't even have to use this little bar to jack it up. So just twisting with my hands, like maybe 2 more little rotations, and the thing just slid out. So I'm going to see about this one. I think since this is already disconnected, there shouldn't really be anything on there. So let me see about that. So yeah, I was right. Since that one had no pressure left, this was basically just a loose screw already. So just got to remember, this one's in the front with that one. This one's in the rear. So I have my front and my rear. Okay, so I was a little bit wrong. I did have to disconnect this bolt here from the fairing so I can bring it down a little bit so I can slide this piece out. So as you can see, they're exactly the same width, even though this one does say CBR600RR and this is a 1000RR. It does, they are interchangeable. They're exactly the same chassis, almost entirely, I think. So anyway, that's how much longer it is. So even the shortest option is, or the least lower option, the taller option here, so stock, slightly taller, and then the lowest setting you can do on this, even that one is a decent amount further back. So what that's going to do is make this link from here, this bolt, to that bolt, further away from each other. That way the center of the bike can drop lower. So that's basically what that does to lower it. And there's also, I believe it's this triangle piece here, I believe so, where you can get another one of those, and it gives you even more adjustment to put that end lower and bring the whole bike lower. I'm okay where this is. Like even the stock one I can ride around fine. It's just I would feel a little bit more comfortable dropping it a little bit more. So we're gonna see how much of a difference this makes. So since I relocated my license plate a lot higher and it's facing up now, I should have a lot more clearance. As you might notice, I don't have my exhaust over here, so that's why I have so much more room to put my license plate up there. My exhaust is basically right there. Like, I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can see it through this side, but it's literally on the other side of my tire. So as you can see, the front is in now and the rear does not line up, so I need to now lower this, and then probably, hopefully with these wheels it's enough to start walking away from each other because they're both on wheels. But if not, I might need to manually move it back a little bit, and then once this is lined up I can slip this bolt in. So I haven't put these bolts on yet, but as you can see, it's on the lowest setting here, and I am maybe 4 right off the ground basically. And remember how far away my license plate was? It's right on it. My little fender thing is touching where my battery goes. That is way too low. So I put it to the other option. I really don't have many other options, so I put it to that one. And you can see now I actually have a little bit of space, maybe 2 finger widths between this tail and that, and I have a decent amount of space, 4, almost 5 fingers between my license plate and the tire. And I had like 4 before, now it's maybe 6 fingers off the ground completely. So I feel more comfortable with this. And also I did notice is my chain is way tighter now because how far it got stretched. So I'm gonna have to do some adjustments right here and bring the tire in a little more, that way I can get some more slack on the chain. And then we're gonna do the front, these 2 pinch bolts, and slide these forks down. So basically all this silver that's showing, that's how much lower it was. This black was basically level with the gold. So now we've dropped a little bit. It's right under the second line, and so is that one, right under the second line. I torqued these bolts, and I forgot to mention that we have to do those down there as well, these 2, and I torqued those as well. And I had to remove these 2, that way I can access this bottom bolt, because there's 2, there's 1, 2. So I took both of the levers off and I ended up torquing these back on, and I believe I'm done doing everything. I just need to bring it back down, so I'm going to call somebody out here to help me hold it as I bring it down. And then after I bring it down, because this is in the way of my exhaust tip, see it's a straight pipe there, this is literally just a little tip for it. So once I get it brought back down, I can put the exhaust back on, and then I'll check out how much lower it actually looks. Oh, also want to mention my kickstand is way too tall. Like, if you can see from right here, it is damn near standing straight up. It's tilting over a little bit, so I need to just basically cut off a bottom piece and maybe weld like a little plate, because right now that's just a stick, and anywhere that I park that's like asphalt, it digs into the asphalt real deep. So I want to put like a little plate, cut it and put a little plate there, weld it, and the bike should be done. As far as what I'm going to do to it, it does take forever to start for some reason. I had it checked last time. I had it checked, they told me it needed a valve adjustment. I did the valve adjustment, it didn't help, but at least I got the maintenance out of the way. Then I took it to the Honda / Harley dealership here. They told me it was my power commander. So since my brother got me new chain and sprockets, so that way I can have a different gear ratio, I'm gonna buy a new power commander and then have it retuned. There's a guy that shows up at the Harley dealership with a dyno, and he has like a dyno on a trailer. So I'm gonna just have him dyno my motorcycle, not just to know the power, but like to actually tune it on the power commander. And he's also a power commander vendor, so I can get it from him also. But if you enjoy any kind of motorcycle content or car content, I already did coilovers on this car and a blow-off valve. I didn't film that, but I have much more in the works. I just got the license plate frame over there. I got new front grills, that one, and the sides over there. I think the first video I'm gonna do on this is wrapping the car. I still haven't decided. I might do the same color, the Nardo gray. New grills. I already have the grills in my room. I could just throw them on once I order the wrap. So I might do that this week, but I'm also looking for some wheels because I don't like how these 17s look. I might get like some 19s all around. So if you have an idea of what goes good with Nardo gray as far as like wheel color, let me know. I am leaning towards blue. I did order some blue stickers for this bike because as you can see, there's no other colors to it. It's just black and Nardo gray. So I'm gonna be putting some blue stickers all over this. Not too many. I'm gonna see how it goes, and then I'm gonna be doing some similar design to this car. So comment any color ideas and stay tuned.